Hey everyone, Luke here. Now before we get into the review of the Yozakura family chapters this week, just want to say a couple of things. First of all, if you haven't played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, go and play it now. It's very enjoyable. I'm really enjoying playing the game, and looking forward to finding out what some of the more surprises are to come in store in the series, in the actual game itself. Sure, it has its problems, graphical error, graphical glitches and that. Yeah, no denying that can be an issue at times, but at the same time it doesn't ruin the experience that I'm enjoying. So that's just my brief thoughts on Scarlet Fire at the moment. But the main thing that we've got to say is yeah, as you guys know, Tommy Oliver actor in Power Rangers, J. Frank. Yeah, he's no longer with us, as we all know now. When that news broke a few hours ago, I was pretty much in shock and denial about it. I was like, what? No, this can't be real. But as it turns out, yeah, it was real. So regardless of what you guys thought about him on Power Rangers, or what people thought about him as a person in conventions and that, it was still part of 90s culture, and gave people so many fond memories for his role as Tommy Oliver. So just rest in peace to him. But yeah, for now, let's just talk about the chapter. Alright, so this will be chapter 155, titled Disaster. Now, based on what happens at the end of the chapter, it was kind of inevitable that this was going to happen. I called it as soon as we got into the notion of like, oh, siblings being kidnapped. Like, it's obvious what was going to happen, and the fact that it was going so good for them at the moments in time, I was like, yeah, this is probably not going to end well. And sure enough, it doesn't. But it ends in like quite a sadistic, twisted way in terms of Momo, to the point that people are just hyping up the Momo best new gen villain antagonist, whatever you want to say. And yeah, not really much of a contender, because I saw a comment from I am pretty sure it was Pyjans that said this comment of like, really, who else have we got right now? All for one, like a villain from JJK, something like that. So yeah, Momo completely dominates all of them. So yeah, we're going to talk about it when we get to the end of the chapter. So for right now, we have them sign off with Koichiro saying Futaba and Shinzo are in custody. Everyone evacuate the area immediately. So it's like, okay, yeah, we've got them. Okay, everyone get out now. Before something terrible happens. And sure enough, Taiyo says the one thing you do not say in situations like this. Everything's going according to plan so far. It's like, come on, Taiyo. You know full well, like, you've probably read a few manga stories. You never say anything like that, because when things are like, oh, this is going so well, so swimmingly, nothing bad is happening, you know something bad is going to happen. And sure enough, as he says this, like, immediately, like, the second he says this, we just have him going like, what's going on, as we see the sakura blossoms bloom into like just this gigantic tree that just encompasses the boat, and you can see the scale to perspective. Like, you have Shinzo, Kengo and Taiyo there, just like these tiny little specks, and you just see like just this big blooming blooming tree, quite literally, that just engulfs the entire area. As you see Koichiro getting trapped, and you see Nanano, Shion and Kengo getting trapped, but you also see Mutsumi just staring out the window like, what the hell is going on here? Before we have Kengo actually struggling to kind of get Shinzo under his control, and he's like, okay, Kengo, are you okay? What's going on here? But the only sound that we can get out of Kengo at the moment is Mom, which has a great transition, I must say. We have Taiyo going like, Kengo, hang in there, and immediately transitions into a flashback from Taiyo's perspective. Although it may be a flashback, it might be Momo screwing with his mind. So yeah, this was something I was not expecting, and I don't think anyone was expecting it to go like in this direction. Which, my God. Mission Yozakura at times, like, it can be a bit predictable at times, but there are times where it's like, credit where credit is due. This was a surprise I think that no one saw coming. So it's just like, okay, go hang in there, and it's just like, wait, why am I back here? Why is my family alive and everything? And like I said, this is probably Momo's interference, as we'll soon see. But before we have Taiyo's parents saying, like, "Oh, why are you shouting like that, Taiyo? You really scare me." And the thing that I can back off the fact that this is probably Momo's intention here is the fact that the magazine that Taiyo's dad is reading is called Weekly Driving Vacation Course, which. My God! If you guys know what happened to Taiyo's family, of why he was adopted, why he married into the Yozakura family, you know that this is if Momo is the one behind this has got to be one of the most sickest, twisted things that he's ever done to get under Taiyo's skin. And I said this to Apologize before, but it would surprise me to no end to know that Momo basically planned that whole thing out, for he saw Taiyo was like, oh, okay, he's getting close to Mutsumi, so if I can get rid of his family, then he'll rely on Mutsumi more, then she'll bring him into the family, marry him in, and then it'll probably lead to me actually being able to get his blooming along with everyone else, because I have no doubt in my mind that this is probably Momo's ultimate plan to get everyone's bloomings and to get it all into him, or something like that, something on that level. But yeah, it's too much of a coincidence. Like, his family die, he marries into the family, he goes, and the first time he meets Momo, like, he doesn't even know who he is, but Momo has a vague idea of who it actually is, because he attacks Taiyo. The first thing that he does when they have the first interaction, not the one on the train, but the one in like the building that Taiyo was fighting one of the goons, and Momo, all he had to do was just touch Taiyo, and then Shinzo comes around the corner, it's like, Taiyo, you're okay, and then it's just like, Shinzo, and you just see a geyser of blood, so he's taken back to the mansion, and then that's when Tampopo strikes on the mansion, and Momo is able to separate them by calling off the mansion, which leads to Mutsumi being like, I've got no choice, I've got to give Taiyo my blood to activate the blooming, to give him the activation to the blooming. Like, this was all just perfectly planned out in the series, of just a beyond Aizen level, which, if that happens, Pai said we might actually have to give a contention of, like, who is the ultimate evil out of Shonen Jump? Is it Aizen or is it Momo? People are probably going to say it's Aizen, but Momo is just giving some of these antagonists in recent years a run for their money. As Taiyo's brother goes on, because it seems like they were playing a game with each other, and he's like, not even close. Taiyo's cheap tricks aren't enough to make me lose, but if you want to go again, I'm game. And Taiyo is just like incredibly confused here, because even though it seems to be indicating that this is a memory playing in his mind, he does know it's like weird that there's something going on here. As we see voice going to him. I don't know who this is from, if it's from his parents, if it's from his brother, is it from Momo himself? Because we know that Momo can infiltrate minds. We know that for certain. So it's very easy to suggest that he's infiltrating Taiyo's mind here. As it says, your problem is that you're way too sloppy. You've got to be more like, oh well, and then you just see the whole of the memory just crack under under this blooming blossom flower. Like you'd see the flower coming in, and then immediately it's just like cracking of the memory and cracking into Taiyo's mind as you see him snap out of reality, and it is captured. Him, Keigo, and Shinzo are all captured by the Sakura dark blossoms as they're being pulled towards shit, kind of like a gravitational pull. It's just like they grab them and then just like immediately just spin them off towards the ship, and you see not only those guys, but you also see Mutsumi being the one being captured as well. Which, yeah, like I said, I suspected this to happen. Like all the siblings are going to get captured except for Kuricho. But my god, if Momo gets Kuricho, then it's game over. I have no idea how Taiyo is gonna combat that. Like facing everyone, including Kuricho, because he is. Even though he's faced Kuricho before and got a couple of lucky wins on him in a straight balls out fight, I think Kuricho would actually win against Taiyo. But yeah, you see Mutsumi being captured, but she's not. But she doesn't really say anything or do anything. She just has this somber look on her face, so you can't really tell exactly what some of the Yozakura siblings are thinking in this moment. But Taiyo is just enraged at this moment. Probably the most enraged we've seen him in a while, because it's like, yeah, that's my wife, that's the love of my wife, and she's being captured. So yeah, obviously I'm gonna go berserk out. So he uses blooming, his hardening blooming, to kind of get away from the Sakura blossoms, as he just sees everything just like dissipating around him, and he's just like, Mutsumi! So just like, but not in like a damn you Mutsumi, more like, give me back my Mutsumi, and you see him just crash down into the bowels of the ship. He's just like, okay, Kuricho, Keigo, Nano, are you guys there? Is everyone all right? But all he can hear at the moment is just static electricity, and you just see. And you know that it is the shit is hitting the fan when you see that Nano's bucket has just been left behind, and there's no trace of him whatsoever. Yet you do not take Nano away from his bucket. Okay, forget I just said that, but the bucket that he has on his head, full contact, the bucket that is on his head, that is kind of part of his identity. To take that away is basically taking away a piece of himself. So yeah, the fact that Taiyo cannot hear or possibly even sense anyone around, he knows full well, like, okay, everyone is in danger at this point, and it's very nice because now we're actually getting into Taiyo actually doing something, because ever since they've gone onto the ship, he's been more in the background in a supportive role, helping and aiding in everyone. More prominently, Keigo and Nano, but more specifically Keigo, to get Shinzo back. I mean, he did play a part in that fight between Keigo and Shinzo, but it was mostly focusing on their fight and their struggle. But now that it's down to just Momo and Taiyo and possibly Kuricho, because as we all know, Kuricho wants to save his blooming for when he actually is taking down his father. And the fact that we don't see Kuricho at all after the moment he is taken away gives us a nice little suspense of like, is Kuricho captured, is he not? Because if he is captured, then yeah, it is game over, and I don't think Kuricho would be one to sit by and be like, yeah, I'm gonna get captured as easily as this. Although the fact that he's going up against his father makes me believe, like, could Momo potentially capture Kuricho? Like, it could go either way, and if it goes the way that was suggested, like Kuricho getting captured, yeah, it's game over, unless they bring in the gold rank spies. Because if you remember, Rio and Kai are there as well, so maybe they will join in actually taking back everyone, because let's be honest, it's not a spoiler, like, everyone gets captured in the chapter except for Taiyo and Kuricho, so it's possible that maybe the gold rank spies, this will be their chance to come in, and hey, this will actually give me this will actually give us an opportunity to find out, like, do they have bloomings? Like, do the gold rank spies have bloomings, and are we going to see them being used against the members of the Yozakura family? That is something that I theorized for a while, because it just makes so much sense. The more you think about it, how much of a connection these gold rank spies have with each member of the Yozakura family. It makes sense that maybe they have some sort of synthetic blooming, kind of like the Harakasu drug that Tampopo used to get artificially induced bloomings. But yeah, moving on with the chapter, we see just Taiyo just dashing off that quick light speed. It's just like, I've got to get to find out where everyone is, because it's this dad's power. Anyway, right now the only one in a position to rescue the others is me. So it's like, yeah, I'm the one responsible for everyone's safety at this point. Like, Kiricho is out commission. I don't know where he is, and yeah, I'm pretty much the only one that's not been captured, not been brainwashed by Momo. So I've got to make it through everything. As you just see him start probably. Probably just fueled with adrenaline at this point, just slashing away at all the sakura blossoms before we see him crashing down. I just love this image of just Momo sitting down, because it reminds me of the Bleach opening after dark, the 8th opening, when you just see Ichigo just crashing through the halls of Wakamuno, and Momo is not Momo, Aizen is just sitting there just drinking tea. So yeah, kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, you see Momo just sitting there. It's just like, that was nasty, slicing up the escorts I sent to guide you back. You're taking after Kiricho more and more, which... Take after Kiricho in the positive ways, Taiyo. You don't want to end up going down like the creepy path that Kiricho did. So yeah. Maybe taking out after Kiricho more and more in terms of just like his battle prowess, but yeah, let's just leave it at that. So yeah, wrapping up the chapter, and yeah, pretty short chapter, which is kind of a downside of the Yozakura family reviews that I've been doing, which I've kind of noticed, like, they're shorter, but at the same time I feel like as well, like, they just give me so much energy that how can I not do them? Just kind of a downside. Like, I wish I could talk about them for 50 minutes like I did with the Dr. Stone, but at the same time, different series, different structure, and different genres as well. So yeah, I can kind of understand that. But yeah, Momo says like, speaking of Kiricho, he'll be here soon. So it's kind of Momo initially gets inner smugness of like, yes, I will have all my children here, and plus you, Taiyo, and then maybe if this is my ultimate plan, maybe I'll be able to get all the bloomings that I want, so that we can all come together as one big happy family, which is indicative of Momo's sick, twisted way of how he views a family. But yeah, you see just everyone around this dining table. You see the sakura blossom roots just engulfing the area, and obviously having everyone under control here. And Momo's just like, welcome home, dinner's ready, have a seat. And you don't see the pupils of Momo's eyes, but you see, from what I can see here, yeah, his eyes are obviously glowing, and we all know an indication of what happens in this series when Yozakura family members' eyes glow. Yeah, he is possibly getting ready to activate his blooming here, which is one of the mysteries I've wanted to know since Momo has actually been interested, like, Blooming's been interested, like, what is Momo's actual blooming? And we might actually get this in this fight coming up between Taiyo and Kiricho and Momo. We're very likely going to get Kiricho's blooming, because that's something that we've all been wanting to know as well for ages, like what Kiricho's blooming actually is. But yeah, just Momo just there, just being all smug and everything, and Taiyo just looking at him like he is the most hateable person in the series, which at this point he is, but he's the kind of villain we all love to hate. And yeah, it says a lot when even, like I said before, when even Kiricho, like the person everybody, well, I say everybody, most people hated at the beginning of the series, when even he can't stand to be around this person. But yeah, that's the end of the chapter. So like I said, not really much to go off here. Just like some ideas coming into fruition as well, like that flashback that we got with Taiyo, of like, it was Momo the one responsible for what happened to his family, and I'm gonna say yes he was. Like, it's pretty obvious now that that is what's going on, because like literally the second that Taiyo was like, oh, everything's going according to plan, Momo activates something, he gets a flashback, and it's just like, oh wait, this was a distraction to distract me from the fact that there's giant sakura blossoms coming after me. So yeah, Momo probably planted that in his mind, and next chapter we'll probably get some explanations of like what actually happened to Taiyo's family. Like, Momo's probably like, oh, come and sit down because Koichi's gonna be here and we can have dinner as a nice family. So what would you like to know? Taiyo was like, did you do what I think he did to my family? Ah, Taiyo, how such a curious mind is. Yes, it was me. I was the one who planned all that to happen to your family. It would make so much sense, and I cannot wait for next chapter because we're probably gonna get some good old fashioned Momo creepiness. But yeah, he is probably the most terrifying villain we've got in Shonen Jump at the moment. No one compares. Like, Psycho Dad's like, eat your heart. Like, he's the true psychotic father here, and I just love him for it. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.